What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to this episode of G4 Outdoors. On a previous video, I did an initial review on this bagger, and I've learned a lot of things since then. Stick around.
Well, here's a little story about two friends that came together, and we started up a YouTube just to talk about whatever. We're on a boat catching big bass and smashing them cats. From review videos to just making you laugh. Cause we got guns, we got knives, we got fishing, we got hunting, we got everything you like, so hit that subscribe button. We're in the outdoors, doing things that we love. We're talking guitars, girls, green grass, and guns.
Okay, so since then, a lot of leaves has dropped from this tree. We've had a lot of frost and rain, so these leaves aren't as crispy as they used to be. So we've got some deep down leaves that need to be picked up and sucked into this bagger. So I'm going to suggest two different ways to clean this yard up if you're using a bagger. Okay, if you've already used one of these baggers, you know that they fill up extremely quick. I don't have mulching blades on here, and when you're cleaning up leaves, you're not really cutting those leaves. All that is a vacuum to pick those leaves up and throw them right in the bagger. So you're not cutting those leaves up, and you've got a bulk of leaves. So that's just if you run the lawnmower over this and throw the leaves directly in the bag. You're going to be dumping your bag quite a bit, which isn't a bad thing. It's preference really at that point. It depends on where you're going to be dumping. If you're going to be putting these in lawn bags, you probably want to go the second route. Now the second route, it's kind of easy. All you do is run over your yard, let your bagger fill up, it'll fill the tube up, and this isn't a problem. What this does is turn your deck into a mulching deck. Everything's clogged up, so everything's forced to stay underneath that deck. You can really chop those leaves up, and you're probably going to get somewhere around 50% more leaves in your bag, maybe upwards of 75%. What that's going to do is you're going to have less bags sitting at the curb, or if you have a brush pile, that brush pile is going to be a lot smaller. So anyway, let me get to cleaning out some flower beds, and we'll get to bagging this. Okay, as you can see, we're starting off with an empty bag, and these leaves right here, you wouldn't think that's that much leaves, but let's get to bagging these, and I'll show you just how quick this bag fills up. And it's not a negative on these bags. It's one thing that is in common with every bagging system. There's never enough room. You guys see that in there? As you can see, one whole bag here is already full. Now if these were dry leaves, the volume of these leaves would be a lot greater, and both of these bags would have been filled up. But being they're wet, they are a little bit more heavy and squashing down a little bit. There's a lot of weight to them. So these would be filled up if they were dry leaves, but they're wet. Point of the matter is, I did this little bitty area right here, and these bags are already full. If they were dry, these would be full, of course. This is one thing that you need to keep in mind. If you're bagging your leaves without mulching them first, you are going to have to dump your bags frequently. It doesn't matter what mower you have, whether you have the Toro TimeCutter, TimeMaster, turf cutter, anything like that. Like I say, the biggest downfall to a bagging system is the bags are never big enough. But there's a payoff to that. You can't drag that much weight, you can't carry that much weight, and these bags just aren't designed to hold a severe amount of leaves. Now they are great for grass. You can run over your grass all day long. You can probably cut everything you can see right here. You can get that all in one bag, but leaves are a completely different story. Now, I'm not going to dump these bags. I'm going to let them continue to fill up, and we're going to run back over this yard, and that's going to turn this mower into a mulching system. Then I'm going to dump these bags, run back over and start bagging these, and I'll show you just how compact you can get all of these leaves. So there's one thing that I do want to mention. Without this having an accelerator on here, a motor that's going to be blowing those leaves up into the bagger, you are going to get a little bit of blowout on here. So if you want a pristine, clean yard, you're going to have to double cut it anyway, because this does have a little bit of a blowout on the side. And that will depend on your grass height. That will depend on the deck height. There's a lot of factors that will be going into play in that. But in my experience with the yards that I'm cutting around here, I will have to double cut it because I cannot get every leaf to go up into the bagging system. So when I'm going through mulching this and going back and bagging it again for a more compact pile of leaves, I am double cutting that anyway. So I would rather have a smaller pile of leaves than to dump this bag a whole bunch of times. Let's get on this. So the bags are definitely full now, and as you can see, there was a lot of grass blowing out the side, and that is because my chute is clogged up. But we are mulching these leaves up very well, very well. And as you can see, there's not as many leaves on the yard. There's still a lot of leaves there, but they're all just mulched up. Now I'm gonna go dump this bag, come back with an empty bag, and I'm gonna clean this up, and I'll show you just how much room you save in your bag when you mulch compared to just sucking up your leaves. So the leaves are dumped. Now we're just going to bag up all the mulched leaves. with the shadows and everything, I really hope that this is showing up really good out here on how well this cleans up on a second pass. I did lower my deck down 1 inch to get a final cut on this lawn for the season, which will give you better suction on that. And even if I did do that with all the leaves, it's still going to be too much bulk underneath that deck for this to work properly. So mulching it and then bagging it is a way better option. So the first time when I bagged this and I filled 1.5, 1 3/4 bags up full, it was only an area about this big right here. Now what I just did was all of this over here, and that is all underneath this tree. And these are big leaves, big thick leaves that I've been doing. So I did all of this area right here. So I filled the bag up, let the mower mulch all of these up. Oh my gosh, I don't know, I probably would have had to dump these bags 5 times if I didn't mulch it up. But I went ahead and mulched it up, dropped the deck down 1 inch, and then picked up the mulched leaves. Let's see how full these bags are. So the sun really isn't doing me any favors out here today. I can't get good angles on this, but I hope that you saw that the amount of leaves in this bag from this whole area was the same amount as that little area that I picked up the non-mulched leaves, the full leaves. So I did this whole area, and with them being mulched, the volume of the bags is exactly the same. I did so much more area. So that's why I say if you run through, mulch these up, and then bag them, you're going to have a lot more dense of a bag. You're not going to be filling up as many yard bags. Your yard waste pile isn't going to be as big. And another thing, there is quite a bit of grass in here because I did do the final cut on this. So guys, if you're tired of dumping your bags too often, if you're tired of having too many yard bags of waste, if your mulch pile is getting way too big, it's a lot better option to run through, just let your bags fill up, mulch your yard, come back, remow it, and fill those bags back up. You're going to have a lot better result doing that. So anyways guys, I hope this video helped you out in some sort of way. If it did, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. I will see you in the next one. I'm out.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I just dream of fishing while I'm going through my workday. I listen to my boss, though he's driving me berserk. Damn it, I can't take much more because my brain is really hurting. And now the bank is always calling and I don't know what to do. And I haven't bought a crankbait since like 1992. But the bass are out there schooling.